Once upon a time, a deeply unhappy man approached a Buddhist monk and said, "I am very dissatisfied with my life. I cannot keep my wife, children, or family happy. I can't even take care of myself. Sometimes I even think about ending my life. You practice meditation and penance extensively. Can you show me a way out of my suffering? I am going through an extremely difficult time, and even securing 2 meals a day has become a struggle. Please tell me how to survive during such hardships and how to bring happiness to my family. Give me simple advice that I can easily understand, as I am not very educated. If you speak in deep philosophical terms, I might not grasp your meaning at all." Hearing this, the Buddhist monk smiled and said, "You can do one thing." He then pointed toward a high hill and continued, "On that hill there is a temple. Near the temple there is an anthill where thousands of ants live. It may sound strange to you, but these ants damage the temple grounds, making the soil infertile so that no grass or trees can grow there. Do one thing for me, and then I will answer your questions. For 7 days, go to that hill every day and destroy the anthill. Whenever you see an anthill near the temple, break it down. However, you must make sure not to harm any ants while doing so." The man left, trying to understand the monk's words. He did not fully comprehend why the monk had asked him to do such a thing. He wondered if it was fair to the ants to destroy their homes and if it was right to disturb them. However, he decided to follow the monk's instructions. The next day, when he arrived at the hill, he saw many ants gathering food, walking in a line, and carrying grains to store in their home. Seeing this, his heart wavered. He thought, "These ants are working so hard to build their home. If I destroy it, they will suffer." But recalling the monk's words, he proceeded to break down the anthill. Chaos broke out among the ants as they scrambled to protect themselves. Their organized line shattered and they scattered in all directions. Soon the anthill was completely destroyed and the ants fled to hide. The man returned home with a heavy heart, filled with sadness and regret. That night, as he lay in bed, he thought, "The anthill is already destroyed, so what is the point of going back?" He had fulfilled the monk's request, but after much contemplation, he decided to return the next day. Early the next morning, he went back to the hill. To his astonishment, the ants had rebuilt their home in the same spot and were once again busy gathering food. Seeing this, the man thought, "These ants must be foolish. Their home was destroyed just yesterday, yet they rebuilt it in the same place." He laughed at their persistence, but remembering the monk's instructions, he began destroying the anthill once more. Again, the ants panicked, and soon their home was gone. This time, to ensure they wouldn't rebuild their home there, he poured cold water over the spot before leaving. Feeling satisfied, he returned home. However, he was even more troubled than before. "Is the Buddhist monk doing the right thing by making me destroy the ant's home?" he wondered. "Does it suit a holy man to cause such destruction? What if he isn't wise at all? What if he's just deceiving me?" Despite his doubts, he resolved to complete the task before questioning the monk's intentions. With these thoughts, he fell asleep. The next morning, when he returned to the hill, he was pleased to see that there was no anthill in the previous spot and that the ants had seemingly left. He thought, "Since the ants are gone, there's no reason for me to keep coming back." Just as he was about to return to the monk, he noticed another anthill nearby. The ants had built a new home not far from the old one. The man realized, perhaps the monk knew the ants would relocate, which is why he asked me to return for 7 days. Determined, he decided to destroy this new anthill as well. When he arrived at the site, the ants were once again busy collecting food, carrying grains from the old site to their new home. His heart softened, He too had faced hardships, and he could relate to their struggle. He felt compassion for them, yet he was supposed to destroy their home. Remembering the monk's words, he once again carried out the task. But this time he was extremely careful not to harm any ants. It took longer, as he gently dismantled their home piece by piece. Finally, the anthill was gone again. That night he lay in bed thinking, "I am a monster. I won't even let these tiny creatures settle anywhere. What must they think of me? How cruel I am to them." But despite these thoughts, he decided to return the next day. The following morning he went back to the hill, only to find that the ants had built another home in a different spot. This time their home was even larger, and they were working with more determination. He thought, "What are these creatures made of? No matter how many times I try to drive them away, they keep coming back. Don't they understand that I won't let them settle here?" Frustrated, he began destroying the anthill again. However, in his anger, some ants were crushed under his feet. Realizing this, his heart was filled with remorse. He felt like a true villain. Overcome with guilt, he left crying. That night, he decided, "I cannot continue this cruelty." The next morning, instead of destroying the anthill, he brought flour from his home. Now filled with reverence and compassion, he wanted to help the ants. When he arrived at the hill, he saw them working tirelessly to rebuild once more. With great care, he fed them the flour. For the next 7 days, he continued this routine, offering them food each morning. On the 7th day, the man went to the Buddhist monk, folded his hands, and said, "O wise monk, please forgive me. I tried my best to destroy the ants' home, not once but 4 times. However, after that I could not bring myself to do it anymore. I understand that I have failed your task, and because of that you may not reveal the answers to my troubles. But I no longer care. I believe I did the right thing. Please allow me to return home." The Buddhist monk smiled and said, "Oh, my child, stay a while. Have some refreshments and then you may go." He offered the man water and then asked, "Tell me, why were you unable to destroy the ants' home? They are small and you are much bigger. Where is your strength? Where is your power?" The man replied, "O wise monk, I did destroy their home many times. I even harmed the ants in my anger. But the day I hurt them, I asked myself, why am I doing this? Why am I causing them suffering? From that day, I stopped harming them and started helping them instead." The Buddhist monk smiled and said, "That is the lesson. Even a tiny ant can teach us about life. I did not send you to destroy their home. I sent you to learn from them. And what did you learn?" The man narrated his experience, and the monk explained. The first lesson is resilience. No matter how many times their home was destroyed, the ants kept rebuilding. They never gave up. Humans, however, often surrender after just 1 or 2 failures. Some even contemplate ending their lives over hardships. But look at animals. They never give up. No matter how hungry or desperate they are, they keep struggling to survive. Life is about continuous effort. Death is the ultimate rest. So why give up before that? Keep working and you will never lose. The second lesson is that hardships are temporary. We often believe our suffering will never end, and this thought alone makes us weak. But if we persist, life will eventually reward us. You saw it yourself. At first you tried to destroy the ants, but eventually you began to feed them. Why? Because their persistence moved your heart. Similarly, if you never give up, life will reward you in ways you never expected. So my friends, I hope you learned something from this story. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.